We're back for Moto 2 of the Fox Valley Off-Road GP, and before we get too far into the video, I want to make a quick correction. In the last video, I said this was round 3 of the AMA District 17 GP series. This is actually round 4. I thought that the round in between Muddy Waters and this race, which was at Tri-City, got canceled, but it did not get canceled, so this is actually the 4th round of the series. But with that being said, let's get into the race. Starts today were absolutely horrible, so definitely something I think I need to pay a little bit more attention to. In previous years, I would always practice starts a few times during ride days, especially dead engine starts, but it's not something I really focus on anymore. But looking at the past 2 years now, starts have been horrible, so I think we need to start bringing that into the equation on practice days. So we're coming into the woods here. I don't know exactly what position I'm in. I'm in front of a few people, but not a lot. So again, towards the back of the pack as we were in the first moto. Coming out onto the motocross track here, we have a group of about 5 riders within a straightaway of each other, so just trying to keep these guys in my sight, keep up with them, latch on to someone potentially, and try and make some passes here. That's Kyle Bliss getting around me. He finished one position ahead of me in Moto 1, so I was behind him. He finished 11th, so I try and latch on to him then. He's making up some ground here, so maybe if I keep up with him, then I can make some ground too. But if you look to the left, that's a 30 plus C class. They're already on our tail, so they were started immediately after we win, I guess. So not very much of a gap in between our class and 30 plus C class here in Moto 2. We struggled with this upcoming hill in Moto 1. Let's see how we do here in Moto 2. Kyle takes the slower lane, so this is a perfect passing opportunity. Still bogging towards the top of the hill here, so couldn't fully commit to making the pass, and Kyle stays ahead of me. And then coming to this downhill, the 30 plus C guys are already getting around me, so in first position here is Joseph, and Derek is right on his tail. In the first moto, these guys were having an awesome battle. They're having a great battle here at the start of Moto 2 as well. So aside from that, nothing really happens on the second half of the track here on the first lap, so we end up finishing the first lap, moving on to lap number 2. So I feel like I'm riding pretty good right now, still starting to get my flow down after about an hour and a half break between Moto 1 and this moto. So I don't know. I think just the gap between motos kind of throws me off because I've been struggling in the second moto for GPs, not only this year but also last year. So if anyone has any potential tips as to how to not tense up or get the muscles tensed up or get tired in between motos and stay alert and ready, then let me know, because I feel like I just ride pretty decent in the first moto, and the second moto, at least off the start, I always struggle. Now, one thing that uh, we may notice is I'm not super close to anybody right now, like not having any great battles. But if we look ahead here, there's probably 8 to 10 riders just ahead of me, probably within 10 seconds. So if I am able to put my head down the first lap and keep pace with everybody, then I feel like I'd be in a great position to be having some battles. But I fell back a little bit towards the end of the first lap, so not on anybody's tails, but I'm keeping people within my sights. Get up this hill with little issue, and then we're coming out onto the grass track section. So if you look ahead, that's Conrad, who just crossed the log and is just going through the finish line now. I passed him in the early stages of Moto 1. He's ahead of me here in Moto 2, but I'm slowly reeling him in. He's with another rider, and I can recognize Conrad just from his gear. The other rider, I think, may be Kyle Bliss, who passed me early on in this moto. Can't say for sure though, but there's 2 riders just ahead of me that I'm not within striking distance, but I'm keeping in my sight. Coming up the GP hill, and this hill is a lot of fun. Just hold it wide open at the top, and then we go to the downhill, which also you can go pretty fast down as well without it being super sketchy. I feel like I got up this hill a little bit better that time. Still feel like there's a lot of room for improvement, but towards the end of the race here, I feel like I've made improvements in my riding just throughout the day. And I think one thing that's really playing into that right now is the fact that Conrad and that other rider are right there. You can see him in the frame going through the berms here. So I'm slowly starting to reel them in, and that was getting me excited. I was really committed to trying to get on their rear tire and potentially make it past. Now, I'm not really within striking distance at this point, but I'm slowly reeling them in. They're getting closer and closer, so I was hungry to try and pass them. So they're getting the white flag right now, going over the log here, and now I'm getting the white flag, so we're going on to the final lap, lap number 4. Here in the first stage of lap number 4, I'm reeling in somebody, so I'm getting close to making a pass here. Not sure who this is. coming to the downhill to the motocross track. They're pulling over for me. It looks like it's the number 321 John Newton, who is in the 30 plus C class. So it was a pass, but it wasn't really for position. Coming out onto the motocross track here, we can kind of look ahead and see where Conrad and that other rider are, and they're about the same distance that they were earlier, so we're maintaining distance from each other, and I didn't really gain any ground on them here in the first parts of lap number 4. Coming to the last section of the track here, it was make it or break it, so I was really trying to push myself through these sections in order to hopefully make a last ditch pass on Conrad, and I don't think it was Kyle, actually, looking at the results here with Conrad, but it was another rider in my class, I believe, so really pushing myself to try and get to them here at the end, but we're really crunching time at this point. Unfortunately, we ran out of time and I wasn't able to catch Conrad and that other rider, so ended up finishing behind them, and I come in here to finish up my 4th and final lap. So taking a look at the results here, I ended up getting 14th here in Moto 2. Conrad, who I beat in Moto 1, ended up just beating me here in Moto 2. Couldn't end up getting to him and trying to make the pass, so he finished just ahead of me. And then also Ethan, who I beat in Moto 1, he ended up getting 11th here in Moto 2, so nice finish for him. And then Kyle, who we saw pass me early on in the Moto here, he ended up getting 10th. So overall, not too bad of a day. My score ended up getting me 13th overall for the day out of 18 riders. So all in all, not horrible, but again, I still think we have some work to do. Here's a look at the 30 plus C class. So we had a good look at some battles up front, and it looks like Joseph ended up getting the job done and he got first place. Jeff got second place, and then Brandon got third. So nice job to everybody in the 30 plus C class as well in the 12 to 29 C class. So I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next episode.